I think we are recording. It's a miracle. It's not a miracle of technology. It's a miracle of me that technology works, but I'm using it. So as I hope you can see, if you are joining us, and if you can hear me, I guess you're joining us. So if you can see Joe Foley, the one and only on the screen, the CEO, founder, the president, the big kahuna, the head hoo-ha of Disc.com, which in my mind and just about everybody else I know in the whole world of direct response marketing is the go-to guy, the number one company if you need anything printed, distributed, any kind of materials. And it's likely that if you are any kind of a student of marketing and you've gotten anybody's course and manual and CDs and DVDs, and it comes in a really cool box and it flips open and this is inside of that and whatever, that came from Joe Foley from Disc.com. So what a pleasure it is to have you today on Success Story Saturday. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you, Steve. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm excited to share a little bit about myself and Disc.com, and honored to be here.
Well, and I love the honor is all mine, I assure you. And I love the fact that you're sitting in front of a sign that I'm guessing you printed up yourself, a humongous sign that looks fantastic. You printed up yourself in your own business.
Yep. It's kind of like your rhino in the background.
It does?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Oh, which reminds me, I didn't share. I'll do it real quick because this is all about Joe today. But I'm sharing my rhino I share every day, my daily rhino. This is I love the tag which says it's a bean bag collectible. So it's a knockoff Beanie Baby rhino. And the reason I picked this one today in honor of Joe is because there are many knockoff people who attempt to duplicate what you do and to say they can do things just like you, and there is no substitute. There's only one king in this world, and it's Joe Foley and Disc.com. And I love the fact that in the old days, disc meant, what did it mean? I mean, the little floppy disks and all that kind of stuff. And now, Look what you have behind you. It means delivering inspiration and specialized knowledge, because that's exactly what you do.
You're exactly right, Steve. Over the last 33 years we've been in business, people have, kind of copied our model. We've even had a competitor once that we actually located some of our actual copy from our website that they had cut and pasted and put it over there. That just doesn't work. You have to be so dedicated to what you believe in to be successful.
Well, we've all, well, I don't know if we all, but, we've been there. And, they say that, what do they say? It's copying is the sincerest form of flattery or something like that. And but when it comes to business, I'm not in business to be flattered. So no, thank you for the flattery.
Right.
And it just tells people, I mean, if you just speaking, it's off the subject, I guess, but dear listener and viewer, if you are going to a website or getting any piece of marketing or advertising and you find that that's copied from somewhere else, I mean, all trust has got to be immediately just completely broken. So not a smart thing to do at all. But anyway, imitation, that's the word. Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery. And not that you need it, Joe, but of course everyone wants to imitate you. So when it says delivering inspiration, specialized knowledge, that goes to what I was saying, that if people have gotten any kind of books, courses, CDs, DVDs, workbooks from some of the top deliverers of inspiration, specialized knowledge, it's likely it came from you. So a couple of names, I'll just throw out one name for each of those. So inspiration, I can think of a marketer who delivers inspiration would be Brendan Bouchard, which I'm thinking most viewers here might have heard of. Have you ever done any work for Brendan?
Well, you mind reader, Steve, he happens to be one of our biggest customers of our career. And we shipped every physical product he's ever made, and currently he's doing all digital delivery of his training on Kajabi, and he does a lot of live events. But
so wait a minute, he doesn't mail out any more DVDs and books and whatever?
Oh, now we're getting books. We ship out so many books. He does that free book plus shipping offer. And we ship, he's still one of our biggest customers just by sending out discs. And he also does this new latest, greatest thing. Check this out.
I love it, the video book.
Yeah, so we're currently...
At least that's what I call it. Does it have an official name?
Well, we call it printed video.
Printed video. So in other words, what you just showed is something that I could use, or any of our viewers could use, to mail to a prospect, and the prospect opens it up, and instead of it just being a brochure, a video plays.
Right.
How cool is that?
That's very cool. And you also don't have to do Brendan type quantities, like his project's going to be 5,000 units, but you can start with these as low as 25, 50, or 100. They're expensive.
So if I'm selling any kind of a high-ticket thing, I could pick 25 really great prospects.
Right.
That I think I'm not getting through to, or they're not responding, or the gatekeeper stops, or whatever. Like,
yeah.
What gatekeeper's not going to hand that to them? I mean, they open it up. And now, so the video, do I make a personal video in each one, or it's the same video plays in all of them?
You can do the same video, which is easier. And it's still super effective. Like, you might know the guys from Life Aid, Steve. Dr. Aaron. He started with doing, I think, 100, and they all had the same video. Then next time he ordered 100, which, by the way, was 3 weeks later because they were working so incredibly.
I was going to say that I would think that when as soon as you say the next time he ordered, that means those things worked. And then when you say it was 3 weeks later,
yeah.
Holy moly, did those things work?
All you need is a couple deals, and you're like, yes, sir.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his second order, we made him blank, and he did a personal video for everyone.
Wow.
Third and fourth order, he alternated. He went back to, so he has some units that are the kind of the straight playthrough, and then some he uses for personal.
And I'm just guessing that he must be segmenting his prospects. Then the really high ones get a personal message, and the rest of them get a stock message. Yeah.
Of course, these are all really targeted prospects and people with great potential, because these cost like $30, $35.
Oh, that's it? I was thinking they had to cost more.
Yeah, they're very cool. There are versions that, but cost more. I mean, here's a printed book. I mean, this is ours.
How cool is that?
And this one has, buttons for 5 different videos, and you could have an hour worth of video on there, but that costs about $100.
Still, I mean, again, if you're doing any kind of a high ticket something, you're a roofer, and a roof is $10,000, or you're an attorney, and a case can be worth $20,000, $30,000 to you. I mean, if you're a consultant, if you are, all kind. I mean, a high-end remodeler that does a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 basement remodeling, or a $80,000 kitchen remodeling, to send to affluent homes in an area, multi-million-dollar homes, if you're a remodeler. And send them something like that. Look what we've done, and here's some testimonials, and then a personalized message. Here's what I think we could do at your place. Are they not going to give you a call and have you come in and do it?
And they're going to show it. It's so kind of new. They might show it to 4 other incredible prospects that you didn't even know about. Like the neighbors come over and they go, "Well, look what I got. I'm going to start working with this remodeler."
Oh, that's a really great point. That's a really great point. Same thing for an attorney. If somebody is like, I don't know, hurt on the job, and then they can show it to other employees and go, "If you get hurt, look at this thing."
Right.
All right. So that is an incredibly cool thing. That's what we're talking about here. The company is disc.com. This is Joe Foley. And it's not just a disc. It's not just CDs. I mean, you're doing all kinds of imaginative stuff. But let's say that I don't. Well, let me finish my original question, which was the delivering inspiration and the specialized knowledge. So I'll throw out some names of specialized knowledge. This would be people that are consultants, they're teachers, they are information marketers, as they're called. They put out their workbooks and CDs and DVDs. And I'm thinking, boy, I guess I should have asked you up front, because what if I name someone that you don't have? But
that's okay.
How about Jay Abraham?
Yeah, we do Jay stuff. You're 2 for 2, buddy.
Of course. So our viewers ought to be familiar. The reason I picked Jay Abraham, he's about the most well-known coach, consultant, idea man for small business owners for marketing.
Yeah.
And so when Jay has a $50,000 program or $20,000 to get into one of his 2-day seminars or something, you're putting together materials for that.
Right. I just Spoke to him yesterday. We're gonna print a poster. He's gonna print a poster, and this cool business card that's gonna be so freaking thick. It's unbelievable, and it's gonna have his name like die cut out of there and some gold foil. He's gonna send this to people. I might even send it to people on my list just to showcase a little bit of Jay. But he does a lot of unique stuff, and he's kind of adopted me as he's my mentor, and he enjoys helping me out. And we started by doing business with this strange project. We put his entire life, not all of it, but massive amounts of information on a hard drive. It's actually a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is just insane. 700 hours of video and audio, PDFs.
And so he sold that, or he just gave it to top clients, or
he sells it. He goes to big Tony Robbins international events, his platinum group, and he markets that. He includes some live coaching and different things with it, but you get the base unit of all this intellectual property. He has some smaller versions that are USBs.
I can't even imagine. So, and when you say USBs, that's another thing I think of is nowadays, instead of CDs and whatever, you can put like a lot of stuff onto a little flash drive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's a little tiny one. It's kind of cool. You can't see it on screen, but it's actually crystal, and it has the name of the live event engraved on there. It's so sharp. It came with this package, which is really cool. See, there's the USB inside there in the booklet.
So that comes in the mail, just like that.
Yeah, and this is a 4-day live event.
This was to get people to go to the event.
This is you get the 2016 version when you sign up for the 2017. It's an annual event. We've done this. It's the World Business and Executive Coach Summit. I think we've done it 3 or 4 years in a row.
I'm just thinking somebody gets that in the mail, and who's not going to open that? I assume it comes in a clear wrapper. I mean, how are you not going to open that?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And it has gold foil and embossed, you can feel the title. And
so I got to ask you, because this brings up a great point for the viewers, is so many times I hear from business owners that they do some marketing, they mail something out, and they get all excited, and then crickets. Phone doesn't ring. And here's the deal. You hired a top copywriter. You got a great persuasive message. You targeted the right audience to get everything put together. But, man, you got to do one more job. You got to get that thing opened. If you don't get the mail opened, then nobody's going to see all that good stuff on there. So what you're showing here is stuff that I can't imagine it doesn't get opened.
Right. Remember the Life Aid guys? They send out postcards every 2 weeks. So that goes to the more of the kind of new prospects. You can send out a postcard. People are missing a lot of the direct mail. I think nowadays they're just, I'll send an email. It's so easy. But those aren't getting open. But now in the mailbox, stuff is getting viewed again.
Well, I got to tell you, not only does it not get open, but even when it does, there is nothing like something physical to send a message. I know that's the message I get when I get something physical. This person actually cares about me.
Right.
Like, I get 1 million emails a day, and they're like, this, that, okay. I get something in the mail, and you're right. First of all, my mailbox is nearly empty because people think I'll just do emails now.
Right.
So very few things come, but when something cool comes, it gets my attention, and then I realize this person, even though it's a few bucks, this person's investing some money in me. This person has pretty much have earned the reciprocity that I ought to open it, that I ought to look at it, I ought to pay attention. Nobody can do that with an email. Nobody earns the reciprocity of, they mailed out, I'm on a list of 1 million people, and I got a email blast. I guess I'm obligated to open this now and respond. Doesn't work that way.
Right.
But direct mail certainly does.
This is, of course, it's got a picture of me. This is my property.
I know that guy.
Yeah. But this is a DVD inside, a little piece of cardboard. This mails for about $1, in postage. This is still working, the CDs and DVDs, even though in a way, it's old technology. Not old like diskettes, but I'm still making close to 100,000 DVDs every day.
100,000 DVDs a day.
And our volume is still going up. So it's not...
Well, because there's something to said also for that. Even the DVD, even if somebody does not pop it in to their computer or I don't know if anyone even has a DVD player anymore and play the thing, it gets the effect of, boy, this person cared about me. And even just the title of the DVD gets my attention, might get my response. And if I really am interested, I can pop it in and watch it. But again, I just think even if no one watches that, just the fact that I know you spent money and you're investing money to get my attention, I respect that, and it gets my attention even if I don't watch the DVD.
And you have some, marketing space, and
so you have a copy on there anyway.
Right, you can go right to the website. Point.
So it's almost like if you even just the copy alone without the DVD, I guess I get a little suggestion to the people using that. The copy itself, you got to assume people are not going to watch the DVD, and your copy itself needs to be able to get the response that you want. And it's just a bonus if they watch the DVD. But the fact of having that DVD gives them that extra, what we call the thud factor. It's something extra that lands in their lap and tells them, hey, this person really cares about me. They really want. And again, like you're saying, if somebody is joining Tony Robbins' Platinum Group, what's that, $100,000 a year?
Maybe.
So, gee, doesn't it make sense if you have something that's worth money? If you do something that's high-end, again, an attorney, a high-end remodeler, any kind of high-end consultant or any high-end service like that, it makes sense, and it doesn't have to be that high-end with something that costs $1 to mail out. So, do the math and figure out how much would you willingly pay to put someone in the room at your event or to get a prospect to call and come in for a consultation. If you're an attorney and you close 1 out of 3, let's say you're a chiropractor, you close 1 out of 3 people that comes in for a free set of x-rays and the average is $5,000, well then it's $1,600 for every person you bring in for a consultation. Wouldn't you be willing to invest a couple of hundred to get them to come in?
Right.
And still make the $1,467? So to mail out something that costs $30, not a big deal if you're targeting the right prospects.
Right.
Now, do you help people with the targeting of the right prospects or writing the copy, or do you just stick to the genius of what you're a genius at?
Well, we focus on what we do best, and we have some incredible wise clients, and we've learned a lot from them. But I pretty much refer people to other people. Like if somebody needs help with copywriting, I mentioned my buddy, Brian Kurtz, who's connected to all the great copywriters. So I do that kind of help.
Not only he's connected, but Brian's not so bad himself. But Right. So, and he's an awesome guy. So, in fact, I ought to have him on Success Story Saturday one of these days.
You should.
As long as the Little League season is over, because that's when you're hiring the Little League games, right?
Yeah. I
love that. So if I come to you and I say, Joe, I want to use one of these things, but I don't know what to say in it, you would also say, hey, why don't you talk to this guy?
Exactly.
So there should be no excuse of me not being able to do this stuff.
Right. The reason I wanted to go back to these is just to finish the point you were making, Steve. Just like the doctor's doing with Life Aid, doing the reorder because they're working. People are reordering this package like crazy. I think client, from Client Attraction, Fabienne Fredrickson.
Fabienne, sure.
Fabienne, she was doing this as a lead gen. You go to her website and you request a free CD. She stopped doing that, went all online. Now she's back doing it again because it's working like crazy.
I was going to say, you can guess why. She tested out and said, hey, if I could do this for free and deliver it online or much cheaper, you pay a little for bandwidth, but, then I would do that. But I'm guessing that the reason that Fabienne came back and said, Joe, I got to go back to the old school print and mail. And that's because, and then has she stopped doing the mailing and gone back to just online?
No, now she's totally doing the mailing again because it leads to future business. So there's another one just like it, Christine Kane. So she'll do a mailing like this, and that's how she gets all her leads. But then they buy the Motherload program. It's got the cards, it's got the book, got the complete.
Can you hold that up higher? Because we can't. Oh yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. When you get one of these courses from one of these gurus, this is what you get, and this is who's putting it together. So do you help people if I said, I got 8 hours of video and 4 hours of audio and 200-page workbook? would you consult with me on like, hey, here's a cool thing we did for so-and-so.
Oh, exactly.
And so maybe you want to do that, or maybe you want to do this, and you would help me out to package it like that so people would go, this is gold.
Right. Almost every project or consultation starts the same way. People have some ideas, and we show them what's worked in the past. You know, that type of flattery, or, you know, you definitely, I didn't invent the binder, this kind of program. You know, so many people have been doing that kind of stuff. But I just help you by showing you what's worked.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, and there's nobody else. Maybe I know you're such a nice, humble guy. You're not going to say this, so I will. That there's nobody who's done more than that than anybody else. So if that's where somebody ought to start, by showing what they've done in the past, then of course you have to call Joe, because nobody has done anywhere near the stuff, the innovative stuff. You're the first with the innovative stuff. You always got the best, newest, coolest things. I mean, all the stuff you're showing here with the video books, whatever. Everyone else will have that in 6 months or in a year, but you have it first. You have it the most. You could also tell me, like you just did with Fabienne, you could say, she did this and it didn't work, so I suggest you do this instead. And so in other words, the first step people ought to do is get a consultation. But I'm guessing you're printing 100,000 DVDs a day. You're printing all kinds of binders. You're working with Jay Abraham and all Brendan Bouchard, the biggest guru names, everybody that there is. I'm pretty sure that it's not like anybody can ever get an actual consultation with you. I mean, that doesn't happen, right? They have some underling guy they talk to.
Well, I have such an incredible team of about 100 people and an unbelievable partner that handles the operation. So I focus on sales and marketing and talking to customers, because that's what I love to do. So anybody who's a member of your community, Steve, or listening, can reach out to me directly. I have a real complicated email. It's joe@disk.com. Thanks again.
Not only do you have what is one of the most rare and coveted assets in the world, a 4-digit, 4-letter URL. Those are almost possible to get. But you have a 3-letter email on the other end of it. So you have one of the shortest emails on earth. You have a 7-figure email, or whatever you call it. So they can email you directly, joe@disk.com.
Sure.
And they can, and this is somebody who either they really know exactly what they want, or they could be somebody that just says, Joe, I don't even have an idea. Can you help me out? It could be anybody in between.
Right. And or go to our website and mention Steve, and you'll get taken care of. If by chance I'm out of town or at a live event, I do a lot of those, because I love getting out and meeting with clients and talking to people.
Well, that's where I met you. Now, I'm going to say that I appreciate it, but they don't really have to like mention me. If they just go to your website, they're still going to get the golden slipper treatment. I mean,
we've built our business.
Tell Joe I said hello, but that's where I first met you. I don't remember, but we had a joke for years. We lived like, I just recently moved out of the Chicago area, but we lived like 10 minutes apart, and yet the only time we saw each other, we were like 1,000 miles away from home. We had that joke for a while. Yeah. And now, thanks to technology, look at this. We're seeing each other, and again, we are not seeing each other right next to each other. Yeah. What is up with that?
Yeah. When I'm out of town at events and I make friends and meet new people, I always find it fun to when they start mentioning products that they've purchased, and everybody has a closet or a bookcase or a desk, and they start reading off the names, and I go, yep, that came from us. And people start to notice, like I'll say Brendan Bouchard, Frank Kern, Jeff Walker, and then I'll have our address on there.
Right, Prime Parkway. I remember when I was first, buying a ton of stuff, and like the second or third one that came from Prime Parkway, I started to get the point that like this wasn't being mailed out by the person. This was being mailed out by somebody who really knows what they're doing with this stuff, and when it all kept coming from there, and then I got to tell you that I spent 3.5 years, about a little over 10 years ago, with a Yellow Pages company, and my territory happened to contain Prime Parkway. This is before I even knew or met you. And your business, I had walked into your business to talk about Yellow Page advertising. Now, you were in Prime Park. I just remember there were a couple of medical buildings,
Yep.
And there was so the whole bunch of there was a few other industrial things, and there were a couple of 2 or 3 different lunch restaurants to serve all the business people during the day.
Yep.
Big circle. That was it. But I remember when I got to your prime, that your place is humongous.
Yeah. Well, we've doubled in size since you were there last. We're up to
goodness,
100,000 square feet. We have a building across the street.
Oh my goodness, 100,000 square feet, 100,000 CDs a day. You got 100 employees. I'm guessing 100 is like a magic number for you.
Yeah, right. Except we don't. We only ship 20,000 packages every day. We're not up to 100,000.
So that's 100,000 a week.
Yeah, right. There we go.
Mr. 100. I'm just going to call you Mr. 100. So, in other words, now I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, Steve, this thing is too big. I'm no Jay Abraham. I'm no Frank Kern. I'm no Brendan Bouchard and Jeff Walker. And, there's no way that they're going to treat me, I'm just a little nothing.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Do you know that Evan Pagan, when he first, remember him, David D'Angelo?
You're dating David D'Angelo. Real name Evan Pagan, sure.
When he contacted us, he ordered 50 ebooks. So
for his double you're dating.
And we put this PDF on a 3.5-inch floppy diskette.
Oh, that is going way back.
So we've learned to start. We have very reasonable minimum quantities. We love, even though we're mentioning the big names, the core of our business is people that are ordering between 50 and 250 packages or printed items. We treat everybody like they're a $1 million client because, quite frankly, they could be.
I was going to say it. Your business model seems to work because I'm guessing everyone started with the 25 or the 50.
Yeah.
And so, but now everyone knows their name. But Brendan Bouchard wasn't always mailing out 50,000 books.
No. So
anyone who's watching, if you think you could possibly someday be the next somebody, or even if you wouldn't, and you just, again, you're a local kitchen remodeler and you want to mail out 25 little things because one client can bring in a $50,000 or $75,000 remodeling job, and you want to do something worthwhile instead of a clip or coupon or get lost in the sauce with every other. There's a saying that you want to show up like nobody else. And when you're doing work with Joe, he will help you make sure, am I off base? But you'll help people, that's what you do. You help people make sure that they show up like nobody else.
Right? Just like this little item. It says, it's hard to see, but it says...
God knows that's the MP3 player.
Right. So these
I got those from Russell Brunson. I got them from... I'm trying to think. I don't even remember everybody, but those were cool.
Yeah, they're hot. So what we do now is we stock these in white and black and 2 gigabytes up to 8 gigabytes, and then we can print on them right in-house. So you can get one. You can order 25 of these from me. And the cool thing is they come with, earphones, and you never have to connect to the internet. So you get this, you pull it out, turn it on. It's already charged up. Just start listening to it. And it's so cool.
So that's used also for lead gen, or that's used for delivering material, of course?
Both. Yeah.
Right. So in other words, I could have here's people do a free report you've seen online or a white paper. Right. You could read that off or have someone read it off if you don't like your own voice. And it's an hour, and you're giving people the 7 ways to save money on their heating and air bill. Right. You're a heating and air guy, and you deliver it in that MP3 player.
And they give it to a friend after they listen to it, possibly. After they call and buy from you.
But I just love the fact that it's not just coming in an e-download where it sits on their computer, and actually research shows that 70% of ebooks are never even opened. I mean, they can tell that click rate from an ebook. And so
there's no battery.
And they actually, again, have that feeling that you actually care about them.
Yeah. The only reason you put it into your computer is to give it a charge. You're never connected to the internet. And you never have to hassle with batteries or...
Now, do people ever get that and they record over and put their favorite Britney Spears songs on it or whatever?
That's okay with us. We don't mind.
They listen to my 7 reasons to whatever.
Yeah.
It's got my logo, my name printed on it. I would like them to put some favorite songs on it and carry that thing around forever.
Right. It doesn't cost big money like Apple iPod. You know, those are maybe $10. So.
And what's an iPod? In other words, costs more. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore of the even though they're I think they used to be close to $100.
Oh my goodness! So you got the right pricing, you got the right quantities, you got the right support, you got all the latest and all the standards. You got everything going on. Like, is there something I'm missing? That is there any reason anybody would not be racing to this.com or email Joe at this.com or give you a call?
Frank Kern raced here.
Yeah,
that's his new member kit.
Sure, that's his newest thing.
Check out these cool. These are USB flash drives. They look like credit cards. So
those go into the computer in a flash drive thing.
Yeah,
those are the 5 bonuses that came when you first signed up as a member.
Yeah, and those are a stock item for us. You know, they're not. You don't have to order them from China. You know, they're right here in our office, and we print right on them, and we put the content on them.
Got it. So there's no wait 6 weeks for delivery. They call you, and that thing's out in the mail.
Right.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I have mass control. I got all kinds of stuff from Frank. I got binders and binders, and I'm pretty sure if I had kept the box they came in, it'll say Prime Parkway right up there.
Yep.
Joe Foley. I can't thank you enough. I got to ask you one last question, because I really haven't asked you any questions about your history. I know I got to let you go, but how did you get started? Now 100,000 of this and 100,000 square feet and 100, the biggest, the best, the everything. How did you get started doing this? What made you start doing this?
Well, like you said, when you said you were doing Success Saturday, that made me stop and think, how the heck did I become successful? And I only came up with 2 reasons.
Mr. Humble. Okay.
Yeah, I have this incredible work ethic, and I focused on taking care of clients, so I'm all about the client experience. That's all I've ever thought about since I've been cutting grass and being all my little part-time jobs getting started. I just think about, what's the customer need? How can I serve them? And I go and do it with integrity, and I just work my tail off. And that's what we all do here at Dis.com. That's what keeps us going, knowing that we're helping people, and we take pride in our work. And after that, it's pretty easy, because you just listen to your clients, and they start talking about what they need, and then you figure out a way of giving them what they need, or maybe suggesting something that they don't know they need yet.
Now, I can say, first of all, I can test that's 100% absolutely right on target. And since you are one of the nicest, most humble guys in the world, that's about the most tooting your own horn I've ever heard you do, and you're ever going to do. Because anybody who's watching who knows Joe, if you ever met Joe, or you know anyone that knows Joe, ask him, because... And I know, I don't want to make you blush, but I'm Straight Talk Steve, so I'm just going to tell you straight. Everybody says the same thing. Joe is the nicest guy in the world. And who doesn't want to do, in our world, where, like you said, there are companies that are just blatantly stealing your stuff and copying your this and whatever. Who doesn't want to deal with an honest, hardworking, integrity, the nicest guy in the world? And on top of that, you also happen to be the biggest and the best, and you do the most, and you have the newest and the greatest. You have great pricing, you have great quantities. You really care about helping the little guy get started, because that's who you were once, and that's who we all were.
Right.
And everyone you help. And there's a reason why Brendan Bouchard and Frank Kern and Jay Abraham and you name it uses you. And they don't at any point, I know all them, and I can't even imagine any of them saying, I'm just not going to use Joe anymore. Who would ever say such a thing? So if you're lucky enough to be watching this and to have ever heard of Joe Foley, there's no reason to even think about using anyone else, or hopefully at least give it a shot. Prove us wrong, and maybe get out of this email-only thing, and don't wait till it costs you some money, like Fabienne, who I love, but don't wait until you test. Forget all that stuff. I'm going to test the email-only. I can just tell you right now, it's going to cost you money. So give Joe a call. Email Joe at dis.com. Go to dis.com. You can mention my name. You don't have to mention my name. Believe me, you'll be treated like gold, because that's just what dis.com does for everyone. Joe, I got to let you go. Is there any parting words you want to give to anybody who's listening or watching?
Yes. Do what Steve said, and that's test everything. And then remember us, because Joe gave me that moniker, or Steve gave me that moniker of 100. The most important thing about this.com is we have a team of 100 incredible people here. Without my team, we would not be able to give this incredible service.
Yeah, I'll say, because how could you possibly do all that? But you're right. If you had less people, then when I called with my minimum order, because I'm just getting started, you'd say, we can't. You know, I'm too big. I got some big jobs here, and I can't handle that.
Yeah, but we want to take care of you, because your 25 order is going to be 100, and then it's going to be 250, and then it's going to be 1,000, and we want to be your partner for life. We like customers that never leave.
Yeah, the only thing is, and that's what you have, but the only problem with that is it's going to mess up your numbers. You're going to have to be the 150 guy now. And so
that's okay.
You know, it's going to mess up the 100,000 DVDs a day. Can't even get over it. You have 100 people working there. You have 100,000 square feet. You're mailing out 100,000 courses a week, or what I mean. Yeah. Holy cramoly. We'll
figure something out with the numbers.
I got to thank you. Yeah, you know, a million has a good ring to it, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space up there in McHenry, Illinois.
That's right. That's right.
Prime Parkway. In fact, all those other, you know, kind of medical buildings, whatever I talked about, they can easily be annexed. And,
yeah.
You know, all of Prime Parkway.
That sounds good.
I'm seeing the vision.
How about Disc Parkway?
Disc Parkway.
Yeah.
Joe Foley, I cannot thank you enough. If anybody is a success story, it's you, and what you've done and taken from the humblest of beginnings to what, and I know you're still only getting started, to what is just the biggest, the best, and there's a reason for it, folks. Prove me wrong. Email Joe, go to the website, this.com, check them out, and tell me, and seriously, tell me, if you don't get the absolute best attention, best service, best pricing, best help, best input to what you're going to do, and what matters most, the best results from the marketing that you do. Go see Joe. Joe, can't thank you enough for being here.
My pleasure. I loved it.
I could have named it Joe Saturday, because you are the embodiment of success.
Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for being here, Joe, and thanks for everybody for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with Sunday Fun Day. Thank you, Joe.
Bye, Steve. Bye, everybody.